It's time to go racing once again then here at Zandvoort as we get underway at the Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit has 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. So with the race not...
Good evening, race fans. I'm Pyrate here, Black Flag Racing TV, and it's Sunday night, but it's something new for you all this evening, and we are joining APPF1, their elite driver group. Better way to describe it. They're elite drivers. This APPF1 is very special. It is part of a small community of F1 teams or F1 sim racing teams that race with 0 assists. And I can tell you for nothing that the standard here is incredibly high. Maybe higher than anything we've ever seen before. No, of course not. We've seen loads of great racing here on Black Flag Racing TV. This is going to be something special for Sunday evening, though. We're going to be underway not long, to be fair. It's going to be at the Circuit Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Short qualifying, 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 36 lap equal performance race. Setup today is quite simple, really. It is, and I apologise for Alexa going off in the background. My missus can't look up on the internet whether she has to ask Alexa. Race day Sunday, of course. Invites went out about 15 minutes ago. Sessions will start about nowish. Format is quite simple. Short qualifying, 50% race distance, standard damage, strict corners. The F1 cars are all equal. The safety car is on, but it is reduced, which is good. And if anyone watched the stream earlier this week where we had 7 safety cars, you'll know that I'm very welcome with that. Dynamic weather and a realistic timing. And we'll have a quick run through of what else is going on this season while they get qualifying started. But first, this is season 5, round number 1. Let's have a look at last season. And there we go. Last season's champion was Ghost, G-Ghost 272. Good evening, Nalina. Hope you enjoy your first race. And Ghost, I'm sure I will enjoy it. I've looked at the standard of racing. It's going to be pretty darn good. But this is last season we're looking at. So Ghost was a champion last season. Big riders. I love this. The graphics of rundown and stuff they got here. Very similar to stuff we can produce with our sponsor Sim League Pro. And quick shout out to the Black Flag sponsors, Joachim's Machinery from the Netherlands. They supply lots of big diesel trucks and bits and pieces that attach to them in tractors and that kind of thing. Club Leaf, who are a sustainability partner, they have an app across Europe that helps you offset your carbon footprint. Ironic that those two are our 2 principal sponsors. And we've got a partnership with Sim League Pro, and that is a great place to organise all of your sim league management. So competitions, the lot. Great place to do that. But we're talking about last season. Red Bull Racing were the Constructors Champion. Ferrari were second, Mercedes third. Ghost, that sim guy, and Lifebout were the top 3 drivers. We are about to start qualifying, but no one's on track yet, and we'll wait a little bit. We'll carry on going. So, this season is what we want to look at. There we go. That is what this season looks like. The lineup this season for Mercedes-Benz, we've got Lifebout and RS0121. For Red Bull, we've got F-Tronic. I'm assuming this is F-Tronic. That's how I'm going to pronounce it anyway. And we've got spelled wrong. And he has spelled that wrong because it's spelled wrong. Ferrari will be Robinette Homogene. He used to be called Robbie or Robin. And Monty Pare 246. Vans Racing and Sebmail. For McLaren. Alpine will be Palang and Reshka. Alpha Tauri, Scaparo and Rumax. Aston Martin is Fragile Tunnel and Hoots Too Much. Hoots Too Much from Canada. Then for Williams, we've got the reigning champion Ghost, and his partner is Williams Rick VE17. He's going to be known as Rick. Alfa Romeo Jack Olac. and Alfa Romeo teammate is a real star of you. And in the Haas, last but not least, of course, Aces Aces versus Kings. Sorry, I should have read that before. I just blurted it out. Aces versus Kings. And Vardy QTR, also alongside him in Haas. A lot of people with 0 as their number. Maybe we should sort that out. Because you can't all be 0, can you? Surely. This is how we look for Season 5. We start here at Circuit Zandvoort. We're off to Spa, great racetrack, next week. Followed by Jeddah on the 29th of January. In February, we go to Japan for the race at Suzuka. And anyone who's watched my streams will know that I love commentating on that track, but absolutely hate driving on it. It's one of my least favourite tracks on the planet, but it is great to commentate. Portimao, Portugal comes as race number 5, which takes us to the halfway point. The 19th of Feb, we go to the Red Bull Ring in Austria, or Spielberg as it's otherwise known. The Hungaro Ring for the Hungarian Grand Prix is race number 7 on the 26th of February. Then in March, we go to China for Shanghai, then on to Baku in Azerbaijan, and we finish it off with one of the best racetracks in the world, Interlagos, home of great and Senna, of course. So that's our runners and riders. That is what is going next season. This season, should I say. So let's have a little look and see who we got out there. What do we need? We need a track map, don't we? Let's get a track. There we go. That's what we need. A bit of a track map so we can see who is where and what is what and what. Anyone out on track yet? Lifeboat, first one out in the Mercedes-Benz. And anyone that's listening, if I get your name wrong, you have until the start of the next race to correct me on the way that I say it, or however I say it sticks for the rest of the season. You have been warned. So a couple of laps already in. That is Rick on pole position, 1:12.5. Good starting lap. Straight away, Robinette decides he's not happy with that. He puts it at 1:12.4, and then F-Tronic with a 1:12.0 and a 1:11.8 for Seb. So already jumping in, and straight away goes from the 1:11.6. The times are absolutely tumbling as these guys are coming home, and the track is just consistently purple. It's insane. So already 14 minutes in, and something I'm going to point out, and I think I talk about this a lot on every F1 stream I do, is, in fact, every racing stream I do. Banker laps are important, and these guys who are elite drivers know that. And I can't stress it enough. When you're racing and you've got, whether it's a 2 hot lap qualifying or a 10-minute qualifying or 20, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is to get out there and set a banker lap. Now, it might not be the quickest lap you can do, but put something on the board, even if you're holding something back. Get something on the board that gets you a half-decent qualifying position. Because if it all goes horribly wrong later down the line, you are not screwed. And these guys are doing just that. They're getting out there early, they're getting enough time on the board, then they can go and do a little fiddle with the settings, then come out and do that blistering lap they've all been crying out for. But so far, we've got 14 runners this evening. Lifeboat in the Mercedes-Benz just puts in a 1:11.1 to take pole position. Joining him on the front row is Ghost in the Williams racing car. It's a 1:11.6. Seb Mail for McLaren, and F-Tronic in the I've got to remember what cars are using. F-Tronic in the Red Bull are on row 2. Row 3 is the Alpine of Reshka, and the Mercedes-Benz of RS. Row 4, Robinette, 1:12.4. That's a decent time, that, to be fair. And Rick, so both 1:12.4, 1:12.5. Now that is already significantly quicker than Rocky. Vin Enzo, 1:13.4 in the Fezzer. And joining on row 5 is Jackalak with a 1:13.8. Aces versus Kings, Reels Taravilo, Womax and Vans Racing still need to settle up, and we've got Aces versus Kings actually on and out lap. I think what we'll do is just coming through sector 3. We'll do a hot lap on board with Aces versus Kings. He will be our guinea pig this week. So you head down at full pelt past the start-finish line, and you've got this kind of slightly banked right-hander, which you can take at pretty good pace, but you're sticking to the left-hand side of the track for this right-hander here, and then another bank turn. And there's more bank turns here than any other F1 track. the bank just allow you to get a bit more speed into the corners. Yet another bank left-hander, and bank right-hander here, and again another bank turn. And Zandvoort it's famed for these really twisty, really banked corners that just allow you to get so much power. And being held up actually by the Ferrari in front of him. I'm not sure who that Ferrari is. I'm assuming that probably is him. He does finally get out of the way, but that has seriously hampered Ace's lap. It probably cost him around a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds. Just stuck behind him for that little period of time. But them's the brakes, man. Them's the brakes. And that's exactly the sort of reason why sometimes you just need to get out there and get a lap on the board. And again, more bank turn. Pretty much every turn here at Zandvoort is a bank turn. And that is a pretty decent lap from 1:12.0. So actually, if you think about the time he lost, stuck behind that Ferrari, very likely that there's a pole position time in there. Is he going to set another hot lap, or is he going to come round and dive into the pits? Still looks like he's going pretty damn racing to me. Certainly feels he's got the pace in the car to keep going on a hot lap. Now, strategy-wise, it's a one-stop race, whichever way you look at it. 36 lap, one-stop race. Whether you choose to go with the soft and then the hard compound tyres, or the medium and the hard compound tyres, really I think goes down to how we can look after your tyres, how we can look after dead, and obviously things like safety cars and virtual safety cars and that kind of alarm. But in fact, I'll run through it. I'll run through the scenario. I've got that's the ones I've actually written them down. Just having a look to see if Aces can improve on that 1:12.0, which is a little bit jealous of that one, actually. Far and away with what I should do. Anyone watching my stream knows I always know who's going into the race. I usually do a lap guide or two for the tracks, but I was acutely aware how quick these guys were, so didn't. Right, so let's go through very quickly. We're about halfway through qualifying, so we're not going to miss much at the moment. So possible scenarios. So essentially, you under usual conditions, obviously you don't know what's going to happen later down the line. Under usual conditions, optimum time on your soft tyres about 10 laps. Which means if you are going to start on the softs or run the or plan on running the softs, it's 36 laps. So you're probably looking at running. You can, if you're really brave, really brave, run soft and medium. You'd be insane to do so, I think, because optimum about 10 laps on the soft, 15 laps on the mediums. You're kind of maximum amount really. That's assuming obviously you don't have a little bit of time to tyre safe and fuel safe behind the safety car. Look at about 12 to 13 laps on the softs and somewhere between 21 and 22 laps on the mediums. For me, I think the optimum strategy has got to be using mediums and hards. Now, what you start on really is dictated by your position on the racetrack. If you are sort of midfield, then I think it's not a bad shot starting somewhere on the medium compound tyres and maybe using the hards towards the end. Give yourself a little bit of a better track position when you're on the hards at the end, but at least you gain some places. If you are starting near the front or certainly near the back, I think actually you're better off starting on the hard tyres. Now, I'm no supercars racer by any stretch of the imagination, but the reason I give for doing that, you can go 18 to 29 laps is your kind of optimum on those hard tyres, right? So you could take it for essentially 26 laps on the hard tyres, taking you really deep into race. Now, obviously, you're relying on there not being a safety car. And I suppose when you've got a safety car on low and you've got drivers of this quality, it's certainly a possibility to consider. So you take the hards really deep into the race, give yourself some soft tyres at the end for an opportunity to push. But I think it really is down. I mean, these guys obviously know each other better than I do, and they'll know the guys they're racing with and what they're capable of. At least the majority of them. Oi, Cameron, how you doing? This is indeed Zandvoort, my friend. Good to see you, my friend. Cameron, who has just joined us in chat, he is one of the drivers from a couple of other F1 broadcasts that I do. I think he's come aboard to learn a thing or two. These guys are quick with no assists, Cameron. It's going to be a thing of beauty, I think. A thing of beauty. So, let's have a quick rundown on where we're at. It is still this man, Lifebout, in the Mercedes-Benz, who is on pole position at 1:11.1. using those bank turns, and that is a foam board marker. He's just decided to spread all over the racetrack. Joining him on the front row is Ghost, the current reigning champion. Only a couple of hundredths behind in terms of time. F-Tronic and Sebmate are on row 2. Row 3 is Robinette and Aces versus Kings. And everybody in the top 5 is sub 112. And it's about second separates first and 7th at the moment, which is pretty darn close for a sim racing lobby. Anyone that watches sim racing will know that's really, really close. Then we look at row 4. Row 4 is Reshka and RS. Reshka for the... Easy with, Reshka's with, I can't remember. Oh, look, give me a couple of weeks, I'll have it all remembered. I could have it written down in front of me, but I don't write everything down. As Cameron will probably tell you, I get shit wrong all the time. Row 5, Rick V and Vans Racing in the McLaren. I know it's McLaren because it's orange. Then we've got Jackalak and Vin on row 6. No, we haven't. Jackalak and Vin moved down because who has chucked themselves in? Spaldrong. Spaldrong has chucked himself on to row 2 with a 1:11.7. Good solid lap for him. We're still waiting for Reels Taravilo to put in a lap. He's on an out lap now, so let's have a look and see what he's going to offer us in that Alfa. It is an Alfa Romeo, isn't it? It is indeed an Alfa Romeo. So he'll be the last one to set time with only actually just under 5 minutes left on the clock. He's got time for a second one. May not have time for a third, but we'll see what he's got. So he just rounds himself into sector 3. Of course, it's going to be red right now. He is not on a hot lap just yet. So he will come into this right-hander, which sweeps round. It's kind of a double. It's like it's 2 turns, but it's almost like a double apex right-hander. Similar to that at the top of the hill are in Suzuka, where we are in a couple of weeks. He crossed the line, and this is where we see if he can ramp up this pace. He rounds the first right-hander, and he's back on that power, heading down towards this little S section before this 180 switch back to the left-hand side. And I tried to remember corner names, but they're all in Dutch, and I don't speak Dutch. Got a lot of Dutch drivers in the Black Flag Racing team, to be fair. Anyway, so let's introduce you to Black Flag. So basically, Black Flag Racing TV is a kind of central point for sim racing TV, and it was set up as a way to broadcast the races for our racing team, Black Flag Racing. We'll predominantly operate on Gran Turismo 7, and it kind of took off from there. And we broadcast 7 nights a week. We do lots of F1 stuff, as you'll see from the YouTube, and do subscribe because there's loads of stuff. We also do the GT Fusion World Championships on Gran Turismo 7, which is a 6-race event, annual event. It's only 6 races in a year, and it's a team event of hundreds and hundreds of drivers across Gran Turismo. There are somewhere between 15 and 20 groups during the race weekend. And that is for teams such as Prima, all the way down to kind of one-man bands and independents. Prima are the current reigning champions of GT Fusion. So we broadcast for them. We also broadcast for the Lithuanian National Championships. We broadcast for GT Champions in America and their kind of offshoot, the High Prix Porsche Cup, which is on next weekend. It's got nothing to do in the early hours of Saturday morning. It's early hours of Saturday morning, early hours of Sunday morning. Do check it out. We're doing 2 groups for the Porsche Cup, Division B and C. We don't do Division A because the guy that runs GT Champions does that one himself. What else do we do? We do a set of course, we just haven't got any set of course competitions to do at the moment. But that is on the cards. There is 1 or 2 in the wings for that. We also ourselves operate a endurance racing season on GT7. We also do a number of other GT7 events of our own. And alongside that, we've got 2 versus team events. Well, look, check out the channel. They're all on there. Click the subscribe button, click like, tell your friends, and tell your wife that for the next 7 days you're busy, every evening. And I will accept no excuses. So there we go. Full rundown because everybody is now putting a lap. We've got 2 minutes left and I think we'll start seeing a lot of cars on the track now. So front row is Lifebout and Ghost. Row 2, Aces versus Kings has jumped up a place, and Reels Taravilo puts in a nice solid hot lap to put himself on the second row. I'll tell you what, Balls of Steel go out, do 1 lap and put that one in. F-Tronic and Spaldrong are on row 3. Row 4, Seb Mail and Robinette Homogene, otherwise known as Robin. Reshka and RS are on row 5. There is Rick, and he'll be alongside Vans Racing on row 6. Row 7 is Wumax and Vin, and Jackalak on his own in 15th place. And it wouldn't be last but for the fact that he's only 15 of the 20 cars out there today. New season, so everyone starts on 0. They know what they've got to do. If you want to be champion, finish out near the front in every race. It's quite simple. Now, can Jackalak get himself into the 1 minute 12s? Move up the order a little bit. Has anyone got anything? I mean, Ghost is close. Aces versus Kings isn't too far. I've seen 5 tenths in it. It's 4 tenths in it. Can any of these guys move Lifeboat off the top of the leaderboard? At the moment, it's not looking that way. Or is it? There goes Ghost. Ghost puts himself on the pole. But, meanwhile, Jackalak just pushing a little bit too hard. Can't improve. Is in the wall. And I'm sorry, mate, but you can't park that there. And he does get off and moving. And again, spinning that car. So get that car back under control, my friend. Because there is no rewinds or flashbacks here. And off he goes again to nurse that stricken car back home into the garage to give his mechanics more work than they plan on doing after qualifying. Just 6 seconds left of the qualifying session. We'll start to see the checkered flags coming out very soon. So checkered flag for Reels Taravilo, for Vin, for RS, for F-Tronic, Robinette, all with the checkered flag. Ghost is currently on pole, so it's Ghost from Lifeboat. Aces versus Kings from Reels Taravilo. Reels Taravilo, 1 lap he did. He completely ignored my advice about getting the bank lap in, and as if to prove me wrong, showed me that he doesn't need to do more than 1 lap. He's on it like a car bonnet. Robinette and Seb Mail, row 3, row 4, F-Tronic and Spaldrong, Reshka and RS, 0121, and I hope that wasn't the year he was born, or his age, because it made me old. Wimax and Vans Racing are on row 6, row 7, Rick V and Vin, and Jackalak, who we saw. And again, listen, mate, I've already told you can't park that there. He's struggling to get the car out of that wall, spinning those wheels around. Well, he's spinning them around because they're not actually attached properly anymore. Yeah, that wheel doesn't go there. It goes a little bit further to the right, so someone's a little bit broken. And that is pretty much it for qualifying. A couple more need to cross the line, but doesn't look like anything's going to change. The only 3 cars that haven't got a checkered flag are in the pits. 7 miles in, last one in Aces versus Kings, and there we go. And that is the very, very stricken car of Jacko Luck here at the Dutch Grand Prix. But not bad qualifying session. We only lost 1 into a wall there. So there we go. Here's the full rundown. Lifeboat from the world for Mercedes AMG on pole, with Ghost from Great Britain for Williams on joining him on the front row. Aces versus Kings and Reels Taravilo, both from the world in Haas and Alfa Romeo on row 2. Robinette from France in the Ferrari alongside Seb Mal from Great Britain in the McLaren. F-Tronic from Spain in the Red Bull alongside his teammate Spaldrong from the world, also in the Red Bull, of course. Reshka from Great Britain in the Alpine, alongside RS from Jamaica in the Mercedes AMG Petronas. Wimax, I think that's Bulgaria. If I'm wrong, please tell me. I can't remember. I'm not entirely sure. In the AlphaTauri from Ireland in the next one. I can't remember who that was. But yeah, I can never get the run through done quick enough. It's the people that have the world as their flag, because it's not the bloody country. Set your country right, people. Come on. We know you're from the world, but where? We need to know where you're from. A bit of bants in it. And I do love this racetrack. It's a beautiful, beautiful looking racetrack, Zandvoort. And my first experience of it actually wasn't on F1. It was on Assetto Corsa when I bought the downloadable content. It is really, really close. To be fair, it's pretty close throughout. I think there's going to be some good races up front. But yeah, I think you're right. There's going to be some. It's going to take mistakes more than overtakes, I think. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2, and I'm sure that the likelihood is that I'll miss all the good ones, and then people have to set their own stream and put them up so you can watch them. So, just waiting for everyone to load in and we will get cracking. Quick reminder of who's who. There we go. I'm going to have to study that and try to remember it, but that's who is who. It's Lifebout from France with RS from Jamaica, F-Tronic from Spain with Spaldron, who's from no country at all, Robinette from France alongside Monty Pyrate. I don't know where that is. Is that Israel? I can't tell if it's too small. Sebmal from United Kingdom with Vans from Ireland, Palang and Rexha from United Kingdom. There is Oreshka, sorry. Scaparo, is that an Argentinian flag? Can't be. We're on the, of course, we're on the, what's it called? Formation map. Can someone confirm who Fragile Tunnel and Moon Map, where that flag is from? So if anyone could Google that for me and they become my PA, that'd be fabulous. Or don't. Hoops too much, that's Canada, obviously. Europe is the Netherlands, of course it is. This is his home track, so Jackalak from Scotland. Where else do you be from? The name like Jackalak. Will Star I don't want to say the Italian accent because it's Spanish. Vardy, please tell me no, that's the supporter. Or that it's not actually Jamie Vardy. I hope not, because I was about to tell you. Let's not tell Jamie about Jamie Vardy, just in case it really is. And Aces vs Kings is from. So there we go. Right, back out to the formation there. Boomshanker. Lifebout from Ghost, Aces vs Kings from Rules Taravino, Robinette, Sebmail, F-Tronic, Spaldrong, Reshka, RS Wumax, Vans Racing, Rick V, Vin 91 Enzo. He's got to be a Ferrari, surely, with a name like that, hasn't he? He is indeed. And Jackalak from Barney, Scotland, in the Alpha Romeo. We did see him absolutely popping wherever he took it. I don't know why I suggested two-stop. I don't think a two-stop's really necessarily too far. Yeah, you can do a two-stop if you want to. I suppose it depends. If you've got a safety car, then it puts two-stop as a really good potential option. But I think for me, it's a one-stop race all day long. Right, it does say Aces vs Kings disqualified. We see that so often when they line it up on the grid. It doesn't actually happen. Lots of smoky smoke. Who shall we start on board with? Let's have a look from the perspective of Spaldron on that right hand side. So there we go, there is 5 lights, and once they go out we are away and racing. 36 laps here at Zandvoort, and what a start from Spaldron, absolutely powering through the field like he's using nitrous and up into 6th place. So Doug actually does lose out, doesn't lose out, sorry, he gains position, but Lifebout already pulling away and 7 tenths up already. Ghost just behind. Well, if you count 8 tenths of a second just behind, but they're already putting out a gap. Then we've got Aces vs Kings, those 3, Aces vs Kings with a good game as well, up through to 3rd place. Let's have a look at just how well people have gained before we look at tyre choices, or position change. So basically everyone in the top 5 where they started. Spaldron with that great start up into 6th place already. That's a really good game, 2 places gain there. F-Tronic stays where they are. Reshka is up 1 place. It is Sebmal, who seems to be the biggest loser, well, second biggest loser, losing 3 places down to 9th. Vans is up, Vin is up, Jackalak is up 2 places from the rear. Rick is down 1, and Wumax, big 4-place loss, and already 4.7 seconds adrift. Already got significant work to do. But those out in front, as Reals Taravilo moves up into 3rd place, fastest lap of course, was going to be Lifebout because he is in the lead of this race. But there is Lifebout, he is already a second clear. So when the DRS gets switched on, he will not be giving any up to Ghost, or will he? Ghost is pushing hard to try and get within that DRS zone ready for when it is released upon them. The Reals Taravilo in 3rd is already 1.9 seconds back from the rest of the pack. And I'm just having a look through the order to see where there's a potential overtake going on. Because you've got Spaldron, he's really close there to the back of Aces versus Kings, who's losing places hand over fist at the moment. Just he moved up into third place briefly, but he's now down into fifth place. Robinette moving up into fourth, and Aces versus Kings losing a couple of places. Can Spaldron close down and make the move himself now? Tyres, who's got what? Let's have a look. Pretty much everyone. We've got, we'll kind of explain why Aces versus Kings has lost a couple of places. He's on the hard compound tyre, so he's going to be losing a little bit of grip coming out the corners. Vans Racing, Vins, Jackalak, and RS all on the hard compound tyres, with Ghost just making the fastest lap there. Now has DRS. How is that DRS going to affect these potential overtakes? As people just start to say that RS makes a move on Rick, but it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick, that move on Rick. RS stays where he is. Like a stick. I was trying to think of something, like anything that really works. Ghost has put in the fastest lap of the race. Is he going to close down? He's going to have to DRS very, very soon. There's two DRS zones here. There's one coming up now. DRS detection will be any moment now. So we'll head down. This is where he needs to be within 1 second. Is he there to go through the DRS detection? Yes, he is. We'll come round the corner and watch this. Boom. The wing opens at some point. When does it open? Not yet. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was just outside that DRS zone. Maybe he wasn't quite in it. It's like he was. Is he going to be close enough this time? Well, no, he is. He's making a move. Where's Lifebound? What happened there? I completely missed something there, but he did get past Lifebound. I don't know how he did that. Oh, no, Lifebound is out. He's out of this race. So, disconnection there for Lifebound. He's still travelling around the track. But according to this, he's gone disconnected. So that's why he suddenly disappeared from in front of him. Let's see if he does come back. Rules Taravilo 1.2 seconds back from Lifebound. It does look like Lifebound is still in this race, to be fair. He's not ghosting out, and he's not disappearing. He's certainly not going through the order, although look at that. Rules Taravilo closing. And this is without DRS, he's making this move. And all this is doing is allowing Ghost just to pull away out in the lead of this race. And Rules Taravilo round the outside. He's hanging that car there, and almost making that move stick. But Lifebound holding on. If it is even Lifebound, if it isn't just a Ghost driving his car. And here we go. Here comes Reels looking for another opportunity. But Lifebound did a really good job of defending the inside line, holding the apex. And there we go. Here goes Reels now with DRS. He makes that move. That wing is open and it's bye-bye Lifebound. What about Robinette? Is Robinette going to make it through? Almost. He's close enough as he makes a move now on that Mercedes-Benz. Robinette up into third. Lifebound is dropping like a stone through this order. Very, very, very quickly dropping down the order. So let's have a run through from the back of the pack as we watch Lifebound absolutely getting trounced at the moment. Womack has closed up a little bit. It's 2.7 seconds back. He's on a medium compound tyre. Jackalak, drop it. Jackalak, you can't listen, mate. We had this conversation in qualifying. You can't park that there, man. We cannot park that there. He's had a collision with RS, and now is that going to cost RS some time because he's getting a severe collision. So 5-second penalty for him. How much damage has that done to RS's car though? Is RS going to be able to make it home? That's the question. Jackalak is 5.4 seconds back. RS 3.9. Womack's 4.7 seconds back. Then we've got Vin. He's in the Fezzer. He's just under a second back from Rick V. 1.2 seconds back in the Williams racing car from Vans Racing, who is 5 seconds almost back from his teammate Seb. As we see Lifebound now down to 6th position. Spelled wrong. 3/10, making a move. Is this move on? He's in the Red Bull racing car, making a move on the Mercedes-Benz of Lifebound, who is dropping like a stone through his order. There's only one thing that drops faster than that, and that is a knickers on a girl from Scunthorpe when you buy her some chips. And he's making a move. They are side by side. He's got the DRS, but he doesn't have the inside line. He makes the move round the outside though, and that was far, far too easy for this stage of the race. And look at Lifebound. I'm absolutely set adrift. Reshka, he's up to 6th place. He is 9/10 back from F-Tronic. He's given up a bit of a gap now to Aces versus Kings. 2.6 seconds up the road. There he is. He is chasing down Robinette, half a second back. Robinette not safe from the onslaught of Aces versus Kings on those hard tyres. I'll tell you what, if he can go long here, that's assuming that we don't set that kind of thing. This is looking good for Aces versus Kings in that position, because the next hard tyre runner is 4-5 seconds behind him in Spaldron, and Aces versus Kings hanging on there in the halves, and to be fair, not getting dropped by Robinette. So unless Robinette is on some really mad fuel-saving, tyre-saving exercise, he could be vulnerable to a guy running on hard tyres and that could be running significantly long into this race on a one-stop strategy. Robinette, he's 2.1 seconds back, is currently sitting in the third podium spot. Lifeboat has rejoined, but he's rejoined in 9th place. So he's going to come back incredibly disappointed at where his car ends up. Now this is the measure. Can he keep calm and get that car back up the order? Or is he going to be in the same mood that I would be in, which is kicking the shit out of my rig? And I have actually done it. I now have a rig made of wood and half a rig, because I went off the track and beat it because I was pissed off. Don't do that, folks. Look after your rig. Robinette is third, as I said. There is Rils Taravilo, the one guy that didn't listen to my advice about banker lap, just whacked one in, stuck himself on road 2. He is currently running in second places on the medium tyres, but he is 2.8 seconds adrift from the reigning champion Ghost. And what a way to set out your intention for a new season. Season 5 here, of course. First round here at Circuit Zandvoort for the APPF1 community. And these are the Elite Racing Group on Sunday evening. You don't get better than this lot, apparently. So I've been told. It may or may not be true, but that's what I am led to believe. There is your race leader for Williams. And I'll tell you what, there is nothing more pleasing than seeing a Williams racing car leading an F1 race. It's been far, far too long. And he is no GoTV, I tell you that. Good, solid lap times. So, fastest lap so far, that would be... Where is it? In the wrong place, there we go. Fastest lap so far is with Ghost. It's a 1:14.2. That's a good, solid race pace, to be fair. In fact, it's not far off. It's a qualifying pace I'm used to seeing with my own lot. But yeah, 1:14.2, good solid race pace with Reels 1:14.3, 14.7 for Robinette, 15.0 for Aces versus Kings. Only 3/10 slower, and he's on the hard compound tyres. As I say that, he makes the move up into third place. So over Robinette, this is Robinette's view. Before he was looking back at this car, now he's looking ahead at the same car, making those big, solid moves up into the top 3 with Aces versus Kings. And I like the name, it's a bit too long, a bit of a mouthful, but I'll let you off because you're going in third. So penalty so far, we're on lap 9 of 36 here at the Circuit Zandvoort in sunny Netherlands. I'm not sure it's sunny, it could be absolutely rubbish, who knows. I have it on Google for the weather's not bad in the Netherlands at the moment. We've got a lot of Dutch in Black Flag Racing team. In fact, 2 of our sponsors are Dutch. Which explains why we've got so many Dutch people. Yeah, there we go. So Ghost runs in the lead, 2 seconds clear. The gap's come down a little bit. Rils Taravillo just closing down that gap, starting to put in some solid lap time and close up on Ghost. Aces versus Kings 4.6 seconds back, having made the move on Robinette. And he's not dropping Robinette, but bear in mind he is running the hard compound tyre. He's going to be lacking a little bit of traction out the corners in comparison. And there is a yellow flag in sector 2. That is a Ferrari. Is that... who is that? Which Ferrari is that? It is. That's Vin Enzo, who was stopped very briefly. He's 1.6 seconds back from Wemax. How far back from the leader is he? That's the big question you want to know. How far back from the leader is he, Herb? That's how far back. He's 27 seconds back from the leader. RS at the back of the pack. Obviously had some damage from that that coming together with Jack. I say coming together. Jack that melted into the back of him like his life depended upon it. And put RS in the back. I'm sure Listen, it's not my job to deal with penalties. That's somebody else's job. Not my job, mate. Not my job. My job is just to go, look at him, he crashed. I do apologise if you are offended by what I say. Offence is not meant. I just do it because it makes me. Right, so RS, he is in 15th place, 2.02 seconds back from the guy who smashed into him. And he will be hunting down the back of him. There is a penalty for Jackalak for that collision. 13 seconds is his gap to Vin 91 Enzo, who is 2.5 seconds back from Wimax. Wimax chasing down Vans Racing, 7.4 seconds of chasing required from him. And his teammate is actually now up in 8th place, Vans Racing. His next target is Rick, 1.7 seconds is that target. Lifebout was disconnected for a time, running in second, and dropped down that order. Massive loss for him. Someone's not getting driver of the day. Unless, of course, he can make his way back up there. But he's not getting it at the moment. He's down in 9th place. He has ramped up the pace again now. But I think the damage is already done. And Ghost is dropping down the order. Is he in the pits already? What's going on with Ghost? Ghost! Oh, there's a massive smash! Everyone is involved in that. That is huge. Who have we got there? We've got Ghost. We've got Vans. We've got... Lifebout's not involved there. Reshka was involved there, I think. Vans and maybe Womack. I'll tell you what. That was ridiculous. 4 cars. All just parked up like they should be there. Absolutely not. But what has that done? That has changed it all out front. So, and Ghost has got a penalty. Don't know what that penalty's for. Maybe he was one that had to come together. But he's dropping down. He's down in 10th place now. And losing again. Reshka going ahead of him. And how much time is Ghost going to lose? Because that did not go well. But that's freed Reels Taravillo up into the lead by some significant margin. Lap 12 here is already 6.5 seconds clear of Robinette Homogene. Aces versus Kings, absolutely laughing at the moment. And Spalrong as well, both of them in a very, very good position. Hard compound tyres for them. They're going to run really long into this race. At some stage, we'll see the pair of them both leading this race. And I'll tell you one thing that is good about a low safety car opportunity is that, that big smash, ordinarily on a normal safety car setting, we'd see a safety car out for that, without question. It would be a mess, and we'd be on a safety car for like 20 laps for us to think of absolute rubbish to chat about, but luckily not. And what a shame we don't have a replay function. I can go back and go, look at that shit. Reels Taravillo is your leader, and he's not resting on his laurels. 6.5 seconds is a good, decent lead to have. He doesn't care about that. He is 7.6 seconds clear, opening that gap and closing down very quickly on the back of RS0121. If we take a look from the rear wing, you will see just coming around the corner now, in the distance, that is the race leader. That's already after 13 laps, and that gap is closing and closing fast. Now, obviously, RS is going to have to move off the racing line. Now, I've got very controversial opinions on the role of a back marker and the car lapping under a blue flag. Now, obviously, there are rules in place which say, the blue flag, you've got 3 warnings, you've got to let the car through. My belief is this, right? If you're the fastest driver and you're lapping somebody, for whatever reason, it might be because they've had a crash or whatever, but you're clearly the faster car. If you, particularly you're in first place, for instance. Now, you know where that car is, you've got the track map, you can see them ahead of you, you know you're in first place, and you know they are significantly slower than you. So, if you're sim racing, you might be able to comms with them, you can have a conversation. That's the easiest way to do it, is just have the conversation. Come in, mate, you go left, I'll go right, whatever, job done. If you're not on comms, you've got the other thing you can think about. You can consider, look, I know this racetrack is X, Y, Z, right? And when I come up behind you, or when I come up behind them, I know that this is going to be roughly where I'm going to catch them, because I'm catching them at this kind of rate, and this is where we're going to be. And the ideal is that what you want to do is you want to follow them into a corner, and out of the corner, they, being the lapped car, let off the gas, and pull off the, or don't go quite so quick on the gas, pull off the racing line, then you can make that move out of the corner. Then they lose the least amount of time and it doesn't fuck up their race. You lose the least amount of time sitting in behind them. So often what I see in sim racing, not so much in the league side of things, but certainly with sort of pickup races and daily races and that kind of thing, is that people think that the easiest way to lap someone is to just absolutely chuck one up the inside and ruin everybody's race. And just for me, it's just ridiculous. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? And Lifeboat, now he's back among the living, because he was dead for a while, although he's back in 13th place at the moment. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's no laughing matter. Why are you laughing? No laughing matter. He is. He's been in the pits, of course. When man goes to both, him goes and RS, all been in the pits, which is why they're languishing at the back. Yeah, Lifeboat putting in fastest lap of the race there on the hard compound tyre as well. He is closing up on the back of Jackalacco. Yeah, why can't I see that O at the end of his name? And looking to address or redress the mistakes of the disconnection. I'm assuming he didn't disconnect on purpose, of course, but he now has to do something about that. Jackalacco still had a penalty. There is the move. He's looking to make the move. The AlphaTauri doesn't have to get out of the way. He's not being lapped, but he can't keep him off. And there's another collision somewhere. Vans Racing has had a collision with Vin. Vin goes off. Is he going to pull into the pits? Well, not enough damage for him to go off. What about Vans? Is Vans damaged? Is Vans going to have to pull in the pits? And he's staying to that right hand side. He's going in. He's going to have to repair some damage. Is he putting a new front wing on? That's the question. So it's a kind of double-edged sword. You get the penalty for the collision, and then there he. I think he's doing the what's it called, penalty? Bit penalty, 5-second penalty. There we go. New wing going on, and yeah, he's going to cost himself significant time there. But at least he's got to be fair. Luckily for him, he was right by the pits. Didn't suffer too much loss because of the damage. Right, so we're out in front with the current leader. 16 laps in, 20 laps remaining here at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. It is Rils Taravilo in the lead. He is 10 seconds clear of Aces versus Kings. And he has just made the move on Robinet Homogene. And lap 16, we're about coming up to that lap window for the medium tyre runners. Now, medium tyre runners, what do we say is their window? Medium tyres optimum is about 15, 16 laps just about now. 21 laps really is the kind of last span of these medium tyres. Who's going to blink first? Now, if I was Rils, I would try and hang out there for as long as possible. That gap's 10 seconds. You want to keep that gap as long as you possibly can and hang it out there. If you can hang it out long enough, you might be able to just ensure that you keep that lead when you come back out as well. So we're looking at fastest man on the racetrack is, where is he? There he is, Lifeboat. He's back up already to 9th place. He is certainly charging through that order, despite being on hard compound tyres now. Current championship leader Ghost, he's trying to put the move on Rexha. Oh, it's never Rexha. It's Rexha. You're the only one who can copy the name after that. I will get it eventually. And there's the move. Very briefly made the move. There's that. Obviously, had to pull out. It is a yellow flag. Who's dead? Jackalacco is dead. And we just saw him there. Will he get out of the car? That's RS having a problem as well. So we're just going to watch them go through. They will eventually catch up to the stricken car of Jackalacco. And there we go. That is, I don't know who that is going through just ahead. I think he's now gone. His car has been removed. Do we see the safety car out? We do indeed see the safety car out. Now, who's going to come into the pits? I imagine we're going to see, already Robinet's already gone in. Rils would be wise to do so as well. We'll see him come round these last few turns in sector 3, and he'll head up the road. I think we'll see him pulling off into the pits and speeding in the pit lane. Penalty for Reshka. That's not what you want to see. So we're down to 14 runners. We'll go through the full order in a moment. We're just going to watch and see if Rils can get out. 11.8 to 12.5 seconds is the gap to Aces versus Kings. Bit of a devastating blow actually for Aces versus Kings, because he was in a really good position. to take the lead in this race when Reels went in. But slap bang in that medium tyre pit window, we get a safety car, and that has given Reels Taravillo massive impetus in this race. He's going to, I think, retain the lead here. It absolutely doesn't. AC vs King goes in and puts on which tyre? He's got on the medium compound tyre. That can't take him to the end, surely. I mean, 21, I suppose he could do. He can do 21 laps on the mediums, but he's going to be on very, very worn tyres towards the end. Robinette stays out, of course, because he's on the hard compound tyre. He's done a lap on those. Now, AC vs Kings is on the medium tyre. We know the mediums can go 21 laps. We also know that after 21 laps, they are going to be ragged as hell, and going to be difficult to keep the car on the road. But here is your full rundown. It is Reels Taravillo in the lead. He has pit. He's tucked in behind that AMG safety car. And I love to see they're using the AMG safety car. That is a much prettier car than the Aston Martin, and you can put that on record. Although if Aston Martin want to deliver one to my house and sponsor Black Flag Racing TV, I will swear blind that I hate that Mercedes. But that's what Robinette is in second place. He gained that with, but he just went in the pits a lap earlier than Aces versus Kings and got out ahead. No point giving you the distance between the cars because they are so much closer together. And obviously a little bit out of a couple of cars, a little bit out of sync with the order. Aces versus King running in third place. Spelled wrong is well, it's only spelled wrong if you actually spelled it wrong. Your name is spelled wrong. It's not, is it? Seb Mel in fifth place in the McLaren. Then we've got F-Tronic in the Red Bull Racing car in sixth place. That's the second Red Bull. So Spalding is also Red Bull. Rick V up to seventh place. He's on the hard compound tyre. And then we've got Ghost, current championship holder. The reigning champion, that's the word I was looking for. Reigning champion in 8th place, 15 seconds. He's got some, it's quite, because you're limited to, obviously, how fast you're allowed to go. But that's a big gap you want to be closing up under the safety car. And we just see the, I think that's Vans Racing just tucking in between them there and just a little bit out of sync with everybody else. Wumax is in 9th place in the AlphaTauri. Vincenzo, however you want to pronounce it, in the Ferrari. He's in 10th place. Lifebout in 11th. We've seen, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for Lifebout. In 2nd place, disconnected. That car dropping like, I'm trying to think of something polite. Dropping like some spilt milk. Like I can say like a cat, but a cat doesn't right land on his feet. Dropping like a cat with no legs. And down in 11th place now. Reshka is in 12th and RS in 13th. And at the back of the pack now is Vans Racing, who we just saw coming out of the pits and is well out of sync with the rest of the order. So some significant work to get back in touch even with RS at the moment. We've lost one driver from this race. Ironically, the same driver we lost from qualifying. Jacko Lacco could not keep his Alfa Romeo on the racetrack. Was it Alfa Romeo? I think it was Alfa Romeo. Was it Jacko? Yeah, of course it was. But talking about Alfa Romeo, there is the lead Alfa. Still tucked in behind that Mercedes AMG safety car. And that AMG Mercedes GC3 is a phenomenal car. And if you want to see that being driven to the best of its ability, we have our Season 2, Black Flag Racing Season 2 of the GR3 GT3 on GT7, which starts on Wednesday. And our outgoing champion, I say outgoing champion because he was the champion, it's different. Essentially, I know this is Season 2 and we had a champion before Season 1. So Season 1 champion was Kevin, the season before that champion. And the reason being is that we were all with another group before we started. And we were left at Pyrate, who was the champion of that. But we essentially moved as an entire group, so technically We're like AFC with women. We were with the women, then we weren't with the women. Now we are with the women. Although I make it. But yeah, so anyway. I'm just waffling. PM10 Racing, he doesn't like all my GT tracks. Very quickly, he does some great challenges as well. Have a look at the GT track. It's down. Right, so there we go. Safety car is going to come in. Who's going to be quick? Let's have a look at Aces versus Kings. Because he's on the medium compound tyre. Now, it is Rules Taravilla that is now the de facto safety car. He will decide when it's time to go hammer, hammer, hammer down. It is Alfa Romeo from Ferrari, from Haas, from Red Bull. They're your top four. We've got a McLaren in the top five. How's about that? And we are off. We're going to go then. Aces versus Kings, trying to preempt them, trying to get the move. It's not down to him. It's down to Rules when he goes. Rules is not yet. And now he goes. Does he catch them napping? He doesn't catch Aces versus Kings. He doesn't really catch Robin there either. He's got a little bit of a gap. Aces versus King looking for a move up into turn one straight away. He makes that move. Can he make it stick? He's on the outside now. They're side by side. He does make it stick. He's up into second place. Great move, and I knew going on board with him was a great idea. Spaldron is ahead of his teammate F-Tronic. They are racing. I tell you what, Red Bull already looking good for big constructors points there in fourth and fifth. And it is game on. Aces versus Kings chasing down Rules Taravilla. Lap 21 of 36 here. We have still got 15 laps of racing to go at this wonderful, wonderful racetrack, Circuit Zandvoort. And that went really badly. What happened there? But I don't think we can disconnect it. So, let's have a look at big winners and losers, shall we? Position changes. So, big winner is Rick V. He's up there. He's up 6 places into 7th place on this racetrack, as we can see there. And he's got Lifebout, who's technically down 7, but most of that through disconnection. Crawling all over him, actually. And that's not a comfortable place to be, because usually when 2 men are that close, the only thing that can separate them is a crowbar. That is very, very close racing from those two. Down 7 places is Lifebout, so actually this is a battle of this will put Rick down to 5 gained and put Lifebout up to only 6 lost, but still can't find a way through. The defending is just absolutely phenomenal. As we see Ghost picking up a penalty, he's in the pits, and he's lost 11 places as Ghost. And I just wanted to be nice to him because he was the one who invited me along for the party. But I don't have to be. He's in 13th place. Unlucky for some, my friend. Unlucky for some. Right. let's look at the guys at the back, because they don't get enough love, do they? Van's Racing running at the back in that McLaren, and he is absolutely miles behind. He's on lap 22. 1 minute 6 seconds behind Ghost. So that would say to me that they're on. I really thought they were on different lap. So it doesn't tell me what lap that particular car's in, which is still not so better than this. If I go to lap dates, well, he's actually done the fastest lap Aces versus Kings as well, as he chases down Rules Taravino. Is that move on then? Is it on? Is it on? Is it on? Look how close he is. We're still waiting for DRS. He will round that corner. Now he's so close. He's using that slipstream to help pull him along. He's got more traction in those softer medium compound tyres, or softer compound tyre, than those of Rules Taravilla. The thing that Rules Taravilla has got over Aces versus Kings is that his tyres will last longer. So unless Aces basically, he's going to be racing hard. He's going to be taking chunks out of those tyres. Now he needs to get this move done as quickly as he can if he's going to make the move at all. Because the longer it takes, the more he takes out his tyres. The more he takes out his tyres, the harder it's going to be at the end of this race to defend the comeback from Reels when his tyres are in a much better condition. Lap 23 of 36, where Aces is asking for his medium tyres to go beyond their optimum into the realms of you can't part more niches and like chuck it in the bin. And he's got a great run here though. He's got that real wing open with DRS. He's round the outside. You can't make this stick round the outside, but you do have the inside line. This little left-hander, Lifebout with another fastest lap. Can't make the move that time. still tucked in behind. The defensive driving here from Rills is absolutely second to none. Putting the car in all the right places. Now there is a problem with driving so defensively. You use more fuel, you use more tyre, you use the wrong parts of the racetrack than you ideally want to be using to maximise your time. What you're actually doing is you're closing off every avenue for your opponent to dive into, when actually that's not always the optimum line to go into. And so it allows your opponent behind to just keep on those optimum lines and find a way through. As Ghost puts in the fastest lap of the race, and it's always weird. You've got why is that quick at the back of the pack, putting in such big representative time, but not able to make much use of them because of where they are. And there's a problem in sector 2. Who's dead? That is, I think that's Vin. He is back up and running again, but he's about to be overtaken by Reshka. Reshka's got the momentum. Through he goes, and that was relatively easy. Ghost not close enough to capitalise on that. And Codemasters and EA Sports, please give me some keyboard controls, man, so I can just press the number and go to the car I want to go to. Because we are still on board with Aces versus Kings. This is what Reels is seeing behind him, and it's just a constant barrage of just aces in his mirrors. Whatever mirror he looks in, where he look over his shoulder, he look in his mirror, all he can see is Haas, and no other cars. Oh, a bit of a no. There's nothing he can do at the moment either. He's on the hard compound tyre, so all he can do is just defend for his dear life. But he does know that the longer he holds on, the more he takes out of Ace's tyres. And Aces just can't find that little bit extra to get through. Looking at how much they've got on board. And Reels is doing a really good job actually at conserving his ERS. He's got a little bit more ERS on board, 68% of ERS, which allows him just to deploy at the opportune moment. Just when, and that's a time penalty for RS, who is running in 10th place. It just allows, when at moments like this, when you've got Aces versus Kings, got that little bit of slipstream, he's got that little bit of DRS, it just allows Reels to have something to fight back with. And at the moment, he just can't get that move done, Aces. So let's have a look further down the order. Let's go back to the guys at the back. So there we go. Vans Racing is 1 minute 5 seconds behind Ghost, who, despite having the fastest lap of the race, just not able to do anything with that. He has closed on the back of Vin to 8.8 seconds. There is, I think that's Vans Racing just being a lap there, I think. All very confusing. Yeah, that is. That's Vans Racing. It's really odd, isn't it? Seeing that. Reshka. I got it right. Lost 2 places, down in 11th. 4.8 seconds back from RS, who has a penalty to his name, so that will actually more likely drop him down the order if Vin or Reshka can close up a little bit, although Reshka himself has a penalty. Wimax, 3.2 seconds back from Ricky, or Rick V as he's known. 5 place game for him, that's a good solid game for him. Seb Male, not to be confused with Seb Female, that's his wife apparently. That may or may not be true. 1.5 seconds back, and it's just one that plays game, it doesn't say one place lost, sorry. Running in 7th place, and all change up front as Spaldron moves up ahead of Robinette, and that'll be the difference in the tyre compound shown there, the medium to stuff now. Spaldron 3.6 behind Aces versus Kings, who has struggled so much to get past Reels. And I'll tell you what, Reels is doing an awesome, fantastic job out in the lead of this race, because he can't, Aces versus Kings, despite having much better tyres in terms of grip, can't find a way through. Robinette losing out. Now, Lifebout back up to 5th place. 4 more places to gain by the end of this race. 9 laps left to do it. And he will have got himself to where he started. But already doing, considering what a bad start he had, he's doing pretty darn well there in 5th place. Now, I think this guy probably would have been a shoo-in for, well, certainly shoo-in for the top 3, but a shoo-in for the win had he not had it all the, excuse me, horrible, I don't really know, it's not boring at all. But 4 places lost for him, 4 tenths behind Robinette. And there is Robinette in the Ferrari. Lost out to Spaldron. And Spaldron's starting to pull away now as we see Robinette dropping into the clutches of Lifeboat. Lifebout like a lion hunting down a gazelle on the plains of Africa. He's crawling on the back of him and he's ready to pounce, waiting for the weak one to just be separated from the pack, and then he's going to have some dinner. And if he thinks he's ready now, you wait until that Mercedes gets his teeth into you. There will be claret everywhere. He's not really, but everything being done right by Lifebout at the minute. How about out front? Has Aces versus Kings got anything? We'll see here. He's on. He's coming through the DRS protection zone now. Is he a little bit closer? 410. I don't think he's close enough. He's going to pick up some DRS now. He's really close to the back. That's a much better exit. He's got that rear wing open. He makes the move. They're side by side. Does he make it move around the outside this time? Will's just holding on, but I don't think he can hold on for long. And Aces versus King take the lead in this race. A little more excitement. I press the button and shut the thing off. He's in the lead of this race now. What happened? What happened to Reels? Reels has had a problem. Reels is dropping way down the order. There he is. He absolutely, something went very, very wrong for Reels. Not Wills, Rills, after that overtake. And that has cost him so much time. He is down now in 6th place. So the shock of the overtake just fried his brain, and down he sunk. Spaldron up into 2nd. Lifebout, just amazingly, I don't know how he's done it, but back up into the top 3. And you've got, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it now. Whatever happens now in this race, Lifebout was disconnected for so long and dropped through the order like his car wasn't even there. And for to be fair, he wasn't in it for a while. But he's just managed to get that car dialed back in and back up into the top 3. And he's on the back of Spaldron now and really putting the frighteners on him. And here we go, he's making a move. He's up into 2nd place. This is unbelievable driving from Lifebout. Never seen anything like it. He is like a man possessed. There are 6 laps remaining. Could he possibly be catching Aces versus Kings in this race? If he does, what a phenomenal finish. I mean, to be fair, he can finish here right now in 2nd place, and he's driver of the day. I don't care what the game thinks. I don't care what the game says. That's driver of the day already, that performance. But one more place for him. If he can get Aces versus Kings, I will doff my hat. I don't have a hat, but if I had a hat, I would doff it to him. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal performance so far. Let's have a look at someone else. He's got 3.5 seconds to make up. We're not going to spend a whole time watching him. Surely, Spaldron, he got himself up into the top 3 and looking good to stay there at the moment. 5-place game for him. He's 1.5 seconds clear of Robinette Homogene. I wonder what that name means, if it means anything at all. There is Robinette Homogene in the Ferrari. Then we've got the other Red Bull up in 5th place of F-Tronic. 1 second back. Just a little bit of a push there, and he can get a bit of DRS and maybe put the frighteners on that Ferrari. Not when that happens, because Rills makes the move on him, and Rills is must be fuming. Absolutely fuming, rolled up, reelsed up, totally reelsed up after, I don't know what happened. I didn't see how he managed to drop down the order as he did. All we saw was Aces versus Kings, takes the lead of the race, and then Reels just goes, oh, fuck it, I don't want to be 2nd, I want to be 6th. And now he's going to have to fight his way back through. So both him and Lifebout trying to fight their way through. Now Lifebout at the moment, down 2.9 seconds is the gap now. He's on it. F-Tronic running in 6th place. There is Seb Mail running in at 7th place in the McLaren. He's 1 place off his starting position. 1.7 seconds back from the Red Bull of F-Tronic. There is Rick in the Williams racing car. His teammate Ghost led this race. Then there was like a 4-car pile-up, and then he didn't lead it anymore, and he's way down at 11th place. But Rick V, 7.5 seconds back. There's a problem in Sector 3. Who's crashed? That is Vin, I think, again. It's not Vin. I lied. Is that Rills? It was. It was Rills going slow. He's down in 7th place now. So whatever he was trying to do on Robinette's not happening. Seb Mal ahead of him, F-Tronic ahead of him, Rills losing more places. Now, bear in mind, he started in 4th place, I think. Moved up to the lead of this race and looked good. As we see, Rick and Rills just going. It's Rick Rills. You've been Rick Rills. They are side by side, giving it everything they've got. And it's Rick just edging ahead. Then Rills edges ahead. Then Rick edges ahead again. And now it is Rick just holding on as Ghost puts in the fastest lap of the race. And Aces versus Kings, with still 4 laps remaining, has closed the gap to 1.3 seconds. We will be there in a minute. We're trying to get down the order and see where everybody's at. So Vans Racing, we know, is quite some way back. Vin is behind Reshka, but only 1.1 seconds behind. Then the gap from Reshka to Ghost is 45 seconds. Ghost might have done the fastest lap of the race, but he's going to need a shit ton of those to make up that 13.3 seconds to RS. RS 1.3 seconds behind Wumax. Wumax gains 2 places, but he is still only 6.8 seconds behind Rills, who was the leader and now is dropping into mid-table obscurity. And they never, 10 races in, they won't remember that time you led this race. And that's the sorry truth of racing. And but Rills trying desperately to make a move on Rick. Rick took that position from him, snatched it from Rills' cold, dead hands, and Rills has come alive now, trying to get that back. 7.8 seconds up the road is Seb Mail, 83, and he is 1.9 seconds back from the Red Bull of F-Tronic. It's probably not even Tronic, I'm just saying it because that's what I want. 1.1 seconds to Robinette Homogene. I just feel it should be said in that comment for that. Yes. In the Ferrari, 1.8 seconds up the road is Spaldrong in the lead Red Bull, and a really good job from him. 5 places gained to get into that top 3. Capital, this is the thing, just be in the right place, right time, keep the car where you want it, and you will be in the right place at the right time. When things go wrong, and inevitably they do, just ask Ghost about that one. Just ask Rills about that one. They're both suffering that go wrong shizzle right now. Then we go 1.8 seconds up the road, and there is Aces versus Kings. He is now in 2nd place. Lifebout has taken the lead of this race, and that's it. It's done. Seeing everything is complete. We watch Lifebout from pole position just drop all the way through the order when he got disconnected. He must have kicked his PlayStation, plugged it back in, came back in the room, and then leisurely just took the wheel like nothing happened and drove the living shit out of it to get it back up into the lead of this race. In terms of tyres, because I can't remember what tyres people are on, that would involve some level of concentration. Ghost is on softs, Vin's on soft, Rexha on softs. Reshka, sorry. Reshka yourself before you check yourself. Lifeboat is on the medium compound tyres. He's done 18 laps on those tyres. They are going to be in a horrible condition. As are the tyres of Aces versus Kings, who's done 17 laps on those tyres. Spaldrong on the mediums, 17 laps for him. Then we've got Robinette, F-Tronic and Seb Mail, all 18 laps on their hard compound tyres. But you've got to say, if this man doesn't, if the game doesn't recognise this guy's achievement for driver of the day, and I'm assuming that that is a guy. I could be horribly wrong, and it could be a girl. Could be a frog for all I fucking know. Probably not, though, because frogs don't have opposable thumbs. So there we go. Lifeboat in the lead, 2.5 seconds. Anyone close to anyone now, or is it pretty much? RS is within half a second of Wumax. Is there a potential few points gained here? He's on medium tyres, 15 laps on those tyres, but he does have a penalty. Let's have a quick look. 3-second penalty. He's going to have to do a lot of work in one lap to do that. So let's go on board with who's that? Is that Vans Racing in the pits on the last lap? What does he know that we don't? That's the question. Lifebout in the lead of this race. He has got through sector 1. He's coming through there now. And we'll go on board with him. He finishes off this race because he's 2.7 seconds clear here at Circuit Zandvoort here in the Netherlands. And I'll tell you what, if this is what something nice is like, I'm going to have to get a little bit lively. You expect something nice to be a little bit more relaxed and chilled out, but not for these guys. The adrenaline is popping. Absolutely popping. So Lifeboat, here we go. He will round himself out of sector 2. Come down here into this right-hander. Sharp turn to the right-hander, straight into this 180 left-hander, which takes him into the final little section of this course here. Round this double apex right-hand turn. It's one turn. I don't care what they say. They can tell me it's 2 all day long. And here he goes. And there is your winner. It's Lifeboat from pole. Wins at Zandvoort. Aces versus King. Home in second. And top 3 rounded up by Spaldrong. Robinette comes home in P4. P5 is F-Tronic. Seb Mail comes home in P6. P7 for Reels. A very disappointed Reels Taravillo. He's not going to be happy with that performance. Rick home in 8th place. Woomax will come home in 9th. 21 laps for his hard tyres is a good little run. RS0121 comes home in 10th place. 11th will be for Ghost. Vin in 12th. 13th for Rexha. And Vans will come home in 14th place. But there is your race winner. It is Lifebout in the Mercedes-Benz. And what a roller coaster this has been. He starts in pole position. He doesn't stay in the lead for very long. And then just drops down through the order. Ghost takes the lead from him and leads this race quite comfortably. Absolutely quite comfortably. And it looks, for all intents and purposes, that Ghost is going to win this race. Then we see Lifebout absolutely tanking down the order. Down to 9th, 10th place, 11th place at one stage he was in. And there, that stage, Ghost was way out in front and looking like he wasn't going to be caught. And then there was a 4-car pile-up when we see Ghost just smash it up with some other cars in the middle of the racetrack. We told them they couldn't park there, so they moved on, but by then it was no good. And yeah, he absolutely deserved that driver of the day more than anybody. What a race from Lifebout. Now, I've seen some great races in my time of commentary. That is up there in my top 3. It's difficult to separate the top 3, they're all freaking good, but that is fucking up there. What a race that was. And that is Lifebout. If Lifebout does nothing else for this season, you can look back on that and remember what a race that was. It's just a shame he didn't win the Mercedes cars. You will, over the course of the season, hear me rant at some stage about Lewis Hamilton and my severe dislike for this little prick. But for now, let's be nice, because there he is, Lifebout, wearing that uniform. So there we go. Race number 1 done. The full rundown is here. It is Lifebout for Mercedes AMG. Takes the win. Aces versus Kings. Great race from him as well. Very, very solid on a one-stopper there in the Haas. Spelled it wrong, but drove absolutely right. Got himself into that top 3 in the Red Bull. Robinette Homogene for Ferrari. French driver in 4th place. Spanish driver F-Tronic in 5th for Red Bull. Seb Mail for McLaren in 6th. Reels Taravillo, very disappointed in the Alfa Romeo, but still raced well, just didn't get it right at the end. Rick V for the Netherlands for Williams in 8th. 9th was Woomax in the AlphaTauri. 10th was RS in the Mercedes. Ghost in Williams in 11th. Vin in 12th for Ferrari. Reshka for Alpine in 13th place. 14th was Vans Racing for McLaren. And did not finish was Jaco Lacco from Scotland in the Alfa Romeo. And how about that for squeezing all 15 drivers in before the timer ran out? That's why they pay me the big bucks. Or not, as the case may be. Right, there we go. So, no, seriously, every single one of you guys, brilliant racing. I can't think of anything more entertaining to do on a Sunday evening other than, I suppose, day drinking. Day drinking's not a bad thing. No, that was absolutely phenomenal. Great race. Where are we next week, folks? Let's have a look. Spa. Who isn't going to love a race around Spa next week. Spa is a great racetrack. Going to see these guys absolutely chucking it around Blanchimont, chucking it straight up the Kemmel Straight. And there's going to be some great, based on what I've seen today, there are going to be some fabulous overtakes next week. But all that's left to say is thank you very, very much for APPF1 Elite Group having me do this broadcast for them. Hopefully they'll have me back next week. If not, well, no, it is what it is. But great racing. But all that's left for me to say is that this has been APPF1 Community Elite Group Season 5, Round Number 1 at Circuit Zandvoort. I have been Urban Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV in association with Jockeym's Machinery, Club Leaf and Sim League Pro. It's been emotional.